Water signs. For some reason I have Ren and Stimpy's Happy Happy Joy Joy in my head. I would say that's a good sign to start this reading. Oh, what a weird show. Why did our parents let us watch that shit? Remember all the cat litter that was in it? What were they? Like, Ren was the fat one, right? And Stimpy was the chihuahua. But what was Ren? Like a guinea pig? I don't even know. I just remember it was weird. Weird. Alright, this is for the water signs. Let's look at the foundation of your situation. My back has just started to hurt. Maybe you need to stretch. Maybe you need to work on your posture. Literally, I'm like, oh, I just want to stretch. Maybe you need to open your heart chakra because I just want to be like that. Water signs. Too many. Something might be taking a while. Four of Swords. Rest. Rest is the foundation of this situation. Meditation. Getting grounded. Putting your swords down, which is logic, programming, communication. Just tapping in to you, which is the void. No distraction, no like TV, phones, computers, just you. I'm gonna be like mulling through the bullshit. This is what I've got in my head. Mulling through the bullshit. Tapping into thyself. Letting go. Crossing that is Seven of Wands. This is like resisting something. So like you see all these wands down here. I always say that like wands are like our passions, but these are other people's wands. So it's like other people's passions might have something to do with you. Like maybe they're benefiting off of you, but you're having to like, for some reason I'm getting like, you don't have time for all this. Like this is you like fighting back. Like you found your spark, you've got your wand, and you're resisting like all this outside influence kind of thing. Like maybe people are like trying to tell you certain things because of the way that they've done certain things, which I think is crazy. Like it's language that does that. All of us think that like we've all gone through like the same experiences and stuff because we only have words to express that. But honestly, like since we're all made of completely different chemicals and completely different DNA, that is not the effing case. We just describe things to each other and it sounds like we've gone through the same things, but no two people have ever been in each other's bodies. No one knows feelings, perceptions, if they're the same. Nobody knows. So I kind of feel like this is like dumbing down energy. This is like people are like, oh, like you're a spiritual guru, you're awakening, you're this, you're that, you're like into this. It's like, listen, just because you went through stuff and you like connect with the rest of the world and how you like describe how you went through something, like my shit is completely different. This is the energy that I'm getting. And it's funny because the foundation is like to disconnect basically from this. It's like really tap into your shit because people are trying to like put their stuff on you. I mean, not bad stuff, like it's like positive energy, but it's not yours. So let's look at the root of the situation. This is the fastest reading I've done. Like clouds are flying out. Some stuff needed to get said for freaking water signs. Holy shit. Okay, Three of Pentacles. Again, this is the like working together card. This is like manifesting something with other people. And this is your subconscious. This is something you know. And it's funny because usually in this deck or in this card, there are three people like working on something. Almost it's like they usually have like a blueprint in their hand. But in this card, in this deck, this person's by themselves. And I feel like it's saying you know what you need to work on to manifest something in the 3D, because pentacles are things that we manifest in the 3D. it can also be like time. It's like, you know what you need to spend time on to make things happen. And I feel like it's saying you need to do it alone. And there's like this fire in the background. Like, it's like your passion. Again, it's like in this card, you're protecting that spark. And in here, you're protecting that spark. It's like, you know what needs to be done. And subconsciously, you know that you have to do it alone. So let's look at the most recent past for the water signs. 5 of Cups. Okay, some cups. This is some water energy. So in the past, you have regrets on something. So here are these cups that are like tipped over, but there's still 2 full cups in the background. And 2 of Cups to me is about being vulnerable with someone, okay? So 4 of Cups, they're like empty cups. So I feel like it has to do with like you have like felt empty, like that void again that I was talking about. Like your emotions have just been like, and could have to do with like drinking and stuff too. This isn't a drinking card, but for some reason I'm getting that like we numb our emotions. We don't really feel our emotions and stuff when we consume alcohol, or we only like feel like the negative emotions type thing because it's a downer, it's a depressant, and it kind of like alters your mood. And I feel like this is like you like tapping into your own thing. So maybe it's like you wanting to be vulnerable with someone because these 2 cups are in the background and they're 2 full cups. And again, 2 of Cups is my vulnerability card. You want to be vulnerable with someone. But in the front, it's like all these like empty cups. Like maybe you've been vulnerable with people and like they just didn't get it. And it's kind of like one of those empty connections, I kind of feel like, where it's like hard to communicate. Because again, words are fake. They're made up by who knows who. And they're just names that we put on things, okay? And it's funny that like people have experienced things and like there's not a name for it, so we are just like, oh, that doesn't exist. But that's not the case. It's like they come up with crack ass names for weird science shit all day every day, and it'll be like 10 minutes to pronounce it, but like they won't come up with like a name for, you know, things that people experience every single day, and there's still not a name for it, okay? So like I feel like that's kind of like what this is. It's like you've been vulnerable with people and they've not taken you seriously, maybe because they are emotionally unavailable too. But again, like this card, it's like the person's armored, and this is water. This is like emotions, and it's sad like for a water sign to not feel their emotions, because I feel like water signs definitely have to like get it out. Like you can't hold your shit in, and I feel like you have gotten it out because these are all empty. But then again, it's like it was a lot of, for me, in this card and the way that this person is portrayed in this card. I feel like maybe in the past you've exerted a lot of energy to be vulnerable with certain people and it was wasted. That's what I get. So let's look at the immediate future. Queen of Cups. Water energy again. This is great energy. You're by yourself again. This energy. Oh, look at all these pets. There's only 2, but they're mirroring. Like the floor is so clean that they can like see their image on here, which is kind of like reminds me of this whole situation. It's like the obstacle of this whole thing is to like ward off everybody else and what they want of you or what they want of themselves, which again, you can't blame other people for wanting the best for themselves, but you have to learn to not just defend yourself, but advocate for yourself. And that's not something we're ever taught, like especially if you're like a people pleaser, which water signs I feel like usually are. Like this is you in the immediate future being like, no more. Like in the past, you've wasted all this energy, you've wasted all this feeling, or you've had to work through some emotions that were uncomfortable, just to tap into the good emotion. Like this is like the empowered, emotionally available. Like I feel like she's one of the most powerful in the deck, because this is like our emotions are our power, literally. Like that spark that's inside of us. Like I know fire signs are supposed to be like that, but I feel like water is it. Like think of like all the electricity and stuff that runs off of dams and stuff. Like water is huge. Water and energy go hand in hand, and this person is, their cup is full and they only need 1 full cup to be like good. Okay. This is an emotionally available person, and this is someone that can not only fill their own cup but help fill others' cups as well. They're very empathic, and empathetic and compassionate, And that's why, like, the animals, I feel like the animals, like, flock to it. But I feel like I need to talk about this mirroring thing as well, because, again, we attract people that are reflections of ourselves, I feel like. And I feel like you've tapped into something, and because these dogs are white, I'm getting, like, pure, like, you've tapped into, like, pure energy. Like, you've gotten rid of, like, and it could have something to do with drinking, like, not drinking, and she's got, like, flowers, like, something to do, like, you're blossoming because of something. Yeah, so we'll move on, but that's what I'm getting. So let's do your current energy. Oh, I fell a card. I guess not. The World card. So these are the fixed signs: Virgo, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius. Fixed signs. The world, it's like a cycle is ending. This is the current energy, okay? So some type of stubborn energy, which is weird because, like, water, you need to flow, right? But it's like the cycle has ended. It's like you're rebirthing, which is Aries season. Everybody's rebirthing, right? Great energy for you to currently be in. And there's that spark. Like I said, I feel like you found your spark. There's that spark. And you have boundaries. Like, here's this laurel wreath. It's like boundaries. Like, you have boundaries with all these fixed signs that want to, like, ground you. And you're like, no. Even though there's, like, Aquarius on here, which is not. It's like your energy. But still, like, these are very, I don't want to say bossy or bully, but these are very strong. Again, they're fixed signs. They're hard to move. And I feel like you've learned to not try to move them. Like, you've just learned to set your own boundaries. Like, you don't have to, keep telling people to not come over. You can just build a fence. And I feel like that's what you've done. You just lock your door. Okay, so in the environment, we have the Knight of Swords. So this is someone that might not be okay with your boundaries. This is someone that's going to come in with some crazy communication that they feel like is urgent and they need to communicate with you. You could be like a healer. You could be like a spiritual, like, advisor of some sort. And this could be like your clients or something. I feel like, and this is like a boundary. And there's this eagle in the background, like, soaring around. Again, that, like, air energy. But Knight of Swords is just, like, it can be not mean communication, but just kind of like, I keep getting bully in my head. Like, for some reason, I feel like this is somebody that's not, like, okay with your boundaries, because maybe you've never had any, and now they're like, what the hell is this? So yeah, Knight of Swords in your environment. Could be an air sign: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Now let's look at the advice. 8 of Cups. Okay, so most recent past was 5 of Cups, like all that regret. I feel like, I feel like this person is exhausted from trying to, like, not only fill like, their cups are empty, because I feel like all they've been doing is filling other people's cups. But the advice is to walk away from that bullshit. And the microphone cuts off again. It's like, walk away from that bullshit. Like, literally, you're exhausted, either from, like, listening to it or giving your take on it. But the 8 of Cups is like walking away. So there's, like, cups that are tipped over and there's cups that are up, but it's, like, not your problem. It's not your problem to fill everyone's cup. Like, your cup is good in the immediate future. Your emotions are good. This is your emotional stability we're talking about, which is your power, okay? The way you feel is your power. And if you are around energy vampires that keep sucking you of your power, that, like, and this is really hard for people that are, like spiritual, I don't know why I keep saying spiritual advisors, but, like, healers and, people that, like, even in, like, the help field. Okay. Again, I think it's telling me to shut up, but it's like, it's hard, like when you're in the help field, it's hard to like keep other people's energy like away from yours. Like you're in a great mood, someone comes in and all they talk about is like negative crap, and that can affect you, especially when you're in, like, you could be a nurse or a psychologist or whatever. You have to listen to people all day complain, okay? And for some reason I'm getting this is in business, but the advice is to walk away from that bullshit. It's like, I don't care if you are the highest paid psychiatrist in the world, da 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 da. If it is affecting the way you feel, like if you, like, there's some people who, like, it might not be a fit. If you're in an industry that drains you, it might not be a fit. And this might be saying to walk away from it because this person has a wand. And it's weird. I've not noticed this until like these readings. These like wood staffs that these people have that aren't supposed to be like wands or whatever. But in this deck, for some reason, I keep seeing it, this round of readings. And it's like, I feel like it's like telling you to follow your passion. We are in Aries season, and that's what this season is all about. So I feel like it's like, you know, everyone's feelings aside, go after what you want, stay in like high vibe. And if that means walking away from things in your life that in the past you have, you know, boundaries that you didn't set in the past, like, need to be set now, basically. So that is the advice. Let's look at the best possible outcome. And 8 is Christ consciousness is like being in your heart. Again, this is like that wand. I feel like this is like following your heart. It's telling you to follow your heart. And the moon means like things that are unseen. And again, it's like something that you're not going to see, because cups, water, is emotion. It's going to be follow the good feelings. Follow high vibes. Best possible outcome. The Tower and Queen of Wands. Okay. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Phoenix is effing rising. Okay. So something's got to come down, and it might not be uncomfortable. It's all about detachment. This card is all about detachment. But it's going to put you in your power. Again, it's Aries season. I feel like this is the perfect time for this read to come out. And it's something that you know, like I said, like it could be like an industry that you're in. Like this could be like a place of work. And, you know, it's about to blow up. People are going to be really unhappy. People are exposed. Like this person's like naked. It's like maybe people have been relying on you, and you haven't known, like this huge burden has been on your back, and now people are exposed, and now you're in your power. It's like shit. Like you have to burn all that crap down to find like your flame, like Phoenix rising. I feel like you're going to totally be in your power. So let's look at the Oracle. I'm going to pull one Oracle card. And I'm sorry if I'm being annoying with the microphone. I've told every single sign that this is the whole reason I do tarot, because I'm obsessed with microphones. So I apologize if this is hella annoying, but it's the fun part for me. It's my wise to play with microphones. Let's look at the best possible outcome for the water signs. Too many. Too many. One. We want one. Oh my God. And again, I'm like this, okay? So let some of that shit off. Like burdens on your back. I know Ten of Wands isn't in this reading, but for some reason I'm like, something feels heavy. Too many. We're about to sage this energy because it's not. It's too heavy. Please take this heaviness off of my water signs. Lighten the load. Free them of anything that is not theirs. Song, I do I, hush hush, I do I, just came in my head. Hush hush, I do I. Water signs, one oracle card. We can do it. Come on now. No, 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 no. Funny, I just all let it go. I think the universe just wants me to have really buff arms. This is my workout. Okay. So we're going to go with... We're just going to go with both. Okay. But first we're going to go with this one because it totally just says what I said. So I think I said something about people being exposed, that they were relying on you too much. And this is, what do you got? Oh, God's hair. Exposed and revealed. And this person's naked, so I'd say that's pretty exposed. So let's see, number 21, that's a 3. Exposed and revealed. Healing shame, the imposter syndrome, letting go of self-condemnation, freedom from past unresolved wounds, focusing on self-worth, the underlying beauty in rejection. When you experience shame, you don't just feel you've done something wrong, you feel like you are wrong. Fundamentally flawed. Know that life loves you and the universe doesn't make junk, only magic. However, many social interactions, especially online, are steeped in distorted, unhealthy ways of expressing pain by shaming. Here's the way out of this. See shame as the heart-wrenching cry for help that it is. Consider whether you could have been triggered in the outer world by unresolved issues that matched all your inner pain points. If someone is shaming you, perhaps you have triggered them. How miserably they must be to expend their energy on such toxicity, which is what I totally feel like this was saying. Like, it's like all this shit, like people, all this energy on you. That's like, this is how it should be. This is how it should be. And you have your wand and you're like, but this is how I am. And like, I don't feel like I should have to explain it. And this is even saying like taking a rest from communicating your passion, like putting on the swords, putting on the logic, like, expect the unexpected, believe in the impossible. Like, you're not gonna like just sit here and go with the status quo. Like, all y'all are saying are words, like, because that's all we have to describe certain situations. But you know deep down that it's not the case, that like it doesn't matter what people are saying, like, and you've triggered that, and people are like, but yeah. And it could be like other people in your industry too, with certain things, like people being like, that's not okay because I've learned this way, and like this person is coming in and like we're in the same industry but we're completely like, doing different routines or different, whatever. You're just different, which everyone is effing different. That's the thing. That's what's so weird about like school and stuff like that. It's like definitely programming. It's meant to keep everyone the same, right? Like, this is the way things are done. This is the way it's always been done, and this is how it's going to be. Evolution, no more. That's why it's like funny how it's like science, like, look how far we've come. It's like, no, look how like far back, like, look how slow things are. Like, people have to learn certain things. They have to graduate. They have to, learn all this man-made shit in order to be trusted or listened to, basically, which isn't always the case. I mean, there's tons of like things that, you get what I'm saying. Yeah, so that's that. So And I think that's funny because it leads into this, a tall tale, 35, and it's got like Pinocchio on it, and it's on top of this hat, which kind of reminds me of like the Mad Hatter, Pinocchio. Like, this is like Mad Hatter, like people think you're crazy, and like, but it's honestly like they're the ones telling the tall tale. It's like, I feel like anything that can be explained as bullshit, right? Like, everything that comes out of our mouths is bullshit because it's literally just a man-made concept of like a very small vocabulary of things that describe what we're experiencing, but there's so much more that we're experiencing that we just don't have words for. Okay. All right, a tall tale, 35, 8. Again, it's Christ consciousness. That's like feeling with your heart. This is opening your heart chakra. This is all about feelings. And it's got all these stars. Again, it's like power, energy. Yeah. So let's look at 35. Denial, concealing the truth so you can manipulate and control a situation. Fear-based communication, creating a narrative to hide behind, not allowing the fear of what others will think to influence your words. What did I say? Not allowing the fear of what others will think to influence your words. Totally this. Okay. Learning to communicate from a place of authenticity. This is like I was saying, oh my God, spot on. No wonder you kept flying out 2 cards. Okay. You or someone else is telling a tall tale right now. You always know if a falsehood is spoken because it doesn't feel grounded. When you lie, you get high on an illusory sense of power that is doomed to fail at some point. You feel driven by the fear of exposure, but something makes you stick to your story even though you know it has no substance. Whatever lie we are caught up in isn't as important as the motive for it. Why does anyone lie? Perhaps we don't believe the truth is good enough, or we want to keep doing what we know we shouldn't be doing. That's that whole like stuck in your industry type thing. Putting in all this time and effort. It takes so long to like graduate to be able to be like a whatever, which I totally get. Like a doctor, a mechanic, hell yeah, a freaking contractor, yes, definitely please go to school, you know. But I mean, other things, it's like kind of slows down. Okay, so then there's the lie put forth while in denial, such as hiding an active addiction. In this scenario, we may believe our own lies. The tall tale, the white lie, the stretching of the truth, and the blatant fabrication are all about control. The desire for it, the lack of it, the need to maintain it so we can manipulate the outer world and hide our inner one. Today, ask for the truth. Be willing to pay the price and be okay with the vulnerability your life is exposing in yourself and others. And I was talking about the whole drinking thing earlier about like not being able to feel and stuff. Transparency is required to get where you need to go, to be truly empowered, to reveal the strength of what is true and authentic. Any other path leads to a dead end. Remember the saying, the truth will set you free, and get ready to fly unfettered. And what? There was a card. There was an eagle. It's funny because I didn't notice these. I noticed these birds earlier on this card. So there's all these birds. And then I was talking about the eagle and the environment. And it says, remember the saying, the truth will set you free and get ready to fly unfettered. And it's funny because this is kind of what, like, in the environment, this is like charging in with communication. Somebody's truth. Water signs, you can do it. Awesome read.